Well, hello, my friends, and welcome to this edition of the Flipsider Archeology stream. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the stream. Today, we will be endeavoring upon a noble quest, a quest to discover about this man, the Flipsider. We will attempt to learn all about him. We will go on a journey. This journey will bring us to the far reaches of knowledge. And so we begin our journey today. First with a little music. Now, here we have the Nintendo Strategy Guide, Issue 1, 50 cents. In this guide, you can learn about codes on 10 games. These games included in this booklet: Ghosts and Goblins, Dragon Quest II, Rad Racer, Iron Tank, and Rambo. Includes posters. And here we have a picture of the Knight Arthur from that very game, Ghosts and Goblins. Let us take a look inside the strategy guide. As you can see, there is illustrations on the inside cover, perhaps from the game Iron Tank. Table of contents, game rating, page 2, Ghosts and Goblins, page 3, Double Dragon, page 5, Codes, page 6, Secret Tips, page 8, Brian's Games, page 9. Here we have games ratings: Astymax, Challenge, Advanced, Graphics 4, Double Dragon 2, Advanced Challenge, Graphics 4, Ghosts and Goblins, Expert Challenge, Expert, but Graphics merely a 3, Ice Hockey, an Intermediate Challenge, the graphics are only a 2. Kari Warriors Advanced Challenge. That only advanced. Graphics. Or Iron Tank. Expert. As hard as Ghosts and Goblins. Graphics 4. Kid Icarus Advanced graphics only a 2. Harsh. Punch Out Advanced graphics 4. Rad Racer only intermediate. Graphics 4. Rambo Advanced graphics 3. Well, those were some good game ratings. Guide to Ghosts and Goblins. Let's read all about Ghosts and Goblins, shall we? Ghosts and Goblins. That is a game I'm familiar with. Ghosts and Goblins. Ghosts and Goblins is an extremely difficult game. Most players never make it to the 3rd level, let alone get past it. So that's where our guide will begin. That could be true. At the beginning of the 3rd level, duck the bats while shooting the zombies to the left and right. Proceed to the right till you can get to the blue caves. The red devils here can really give you a headache, unless you know how to deal with them. The first one isn't too hard. He comes right after the bat, near the beginning of the blue caves. Jump up and shoot him while he's sleeping. Then jump to the left to avoid him when he swoops for you. Go farther right and wait for him to come down and start walking towards you. Wait until he's halfway towards you before you start to shoot him. When you've killed him, proceed to the right. After you've climbed a ways, you'll come to another red devil. Get to the step directly below the ledge where he's perched. Jump up and attack him. Then quickly jump to the left to avoid his attack. From there, handle him like the first. Move to the right and climb to the staircase, watching out for the ghouls that appear on every other step. Cavern of Fear. At the top, climb the ladder and ascend another staircase. Watch out for the pixies here. They come just above the wide step. These are very in-depth instructions for this arcane video game. Let's proceed to the next page. Oh, well, we have a poster. There's a fold-out poster in here. Posters we got. Iron Tank. Oh, so the artwork was for Iron Tank after all. I believe this is the tank. Those are the tracks. That's the train with the enemy tracks. And back there is the enemy base with some jets. Iron Tank. And then here we have a poster for, wow, the Ghosts and Goblins with its own logo. There we have the castle. We have the Satan enemy, the dragon, the unicorn or cyclops, what we affectionately refer to as the burrito enemy. And here we have Arthur himself, and you can see there's graves, and he appears to be jumping. Posters that comes included in the book, included right here, between pages 4 and 5. Ghosts and Goblins continue. Deal with the 3rd red devil as you did the 2nd. Go right and make a mighty leap down the long pit. As you fall, you'll see a 4th red devil here, but don't worry, you don't have to fight it. At the bottom, you'll come to a 4th red devil. So you saw a 4th red devil, but you don't have to fight it. But at the bottom is another 4th red devil. So there are 2 4th red devils. Interesting. He's hard, since you also have to dodge a torch you don't want, and a frog king. Try and beat him. Better turn this music down a bit. Try and beat him the way you beak the first. The way you beak the first. Then head for the right for the battle with the dragon. You'll find that it's not so hard once you've mastered the art of fighting. When you finally get to the stage 4, you'll find it relatively easy. Here's a few tips for the challenges later on. At the 5th level, there is a red devil halfway through. Don't fight it, just skip it. When you get to Satan, approach him from the left. When he opens his wings, Move left to dodge his bullet, then duck him as he swoops down. Quickly, get up and hit him in the back. Repeat this process, he'll be dead in no time. In the 6th level, battle the dragon from the ledge to the far right. The end of the 6th stage, battle the pair of Satans one at a time, and don't worry about the devil. He's much too easy to kill. Much too easy. Here we have a guide to Double Dragon 2. Or, as the logo here suggests, Double 2 Dragon. Double 2 Dragon. Here's a guide to level 6 and up. At the start of level 6, watch out for the flaming candles that drop hot lava. They're deadly. We would like to welcome into the stream noted alumni of Knowledge Monocule. We are currently reading from the Nintendo Strategy Guide. As you can see, issue 1 costs 50 cents. And it contains these games. Double Dragon 2. We've read the Ghosts and Goblins guide already. Double Dragon 2. To get across the pits, jump onto the platform that materializes lowest to the left. Jump off it quickly and battle the enemies here. Go left and jump from one platform to the next to get to the door, capitalized door, that takes you to level 7. From here, jump onto the first conveyor belt, then jump off onto the 3rd conveyor belt, in parentheses, the small one on the right. Don't bother with the 2nd conveyor belt. It'll hurl you into the spikes. I like this writing style. It's direct and to the point, just the way I like my game tips. Go right into the door. Beat the enemies here quickly. Try and throw them onto the spikes if you can. Then, go into the door and you'll come to a room full of gears. You can jump on the gears, but be careful to avoid them when they're moving. Here's a tip. You don't need to jump on the 3rd gear. Just jump over it. At the end of this stage, here's a tip for Arnold. Jump right. It just says Arnold for the enemy. Arnold. Capital A. Jump right on top of him and start punching him madly. He shouldn't be able to touch you. Level 8 is mostly all fighting, but when you get to level 9, spin kick the guy when he does his flips. If you're playing 2 players, you'll get him easily. Good night! Yeah. Sorry about that. That was my mother saying good night. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes. Secret codes. The stage selects. Here we go. The title screen. Press up, down, left, right, B, 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 start. And there's an invincibility code. Double Dragon 2 continue codes. The codes must be entered as soon as game over comes on. There's different codes for the different levels. And this one must be entered on controller 2. Huh. That's really true. Well, that's what the guide says. Ghosts and Goblins warp code. Hold right button down, press BBB, let go of right button, press up, then BBB, left BBB, down BBB, start. Huh. I remember that one. Ice hockey. No goalies. The title screen. Hold A and B on controllers 1 and 2, press start. There's a classic one for Akari Warriors. There's a classic one. We also have continue codes for Iron Tank. Well, it says continue codes, but it also just says various codes you'll want to try and lists 8 random ones. know if that counts as a continue code. Kid Icarus, there's an invincibility code. Enter this code to be invincible. Icarus fights Medusa angels. I definitely remember this one from Nintendo Power. Punch Out, warp codes. Ah, yes, what is this stuff? Select B, you enter the code and then you press select BA at the same time. And it doesn't say what they do. Rad Racer, Classic, hold A and start. Warp? Oh, there's a warp code for Rad Racer. I did not know that. Rambo, there's an invincibility code. I would like to say a hello to members of the chat, Dark Zoma and Colic 3. Welcome, alumni of knowledge, to this stream of researching archaeology. Today we were looking at the Nintendo Strategy Guide, Issue 1. Only 50 cents. As you can see, it contains all of this. Now this, so far we've looked at, there's a table of contents with some arts. There's the game rating section. The Guide to Ghosts and Goblins. Let's take another look at the game ratings again. These are interesting. Astinax, it says, is Advanced Challenge and graphics are 4. Double Dragon 2, Advanced Challenge and graphics are 4. Alright, it makes sense so far, right? Ghosts and Goblins, Expert. The graphics are only 3. Alright, well. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, I would actually say Double Dragon 2 and Ghosts and Goblins are about the same. Also, the Ghosts and Goblins guide makes no mention of the secret armors. A little bit of an oversight. Now, Ice Hockey, Intermediate Challenge, graphics are only 2. A little harsh to Ice Hockey. Ikari Warriors. The challenge is only advanced, though less than Ghosts and Goblins, even though this is one of the hardest NES games. But according to this guide, it's just simply advanced, the same as Astinax. Perhaps you're expected to use the ABBA code. And the graphics are 4. Now that's for this Micronix game. I don't, Iron Tank, Expert. That's rated at Expert as well. The graphics are 4. Kid Icarus, Advanced. Graphics are only 2. So harsh against Kid Icarus for some reason. Punch Out, Advanced. Now I would say that should be Expert. Rad Racer, only Intermediate for Rad Racer. Somebody was probably just using the hold A and press start continue code, I believe. Rambo, Advanced. I don't know about these rankings. Very mysterious rankings. So we have the guide for Ghosts and Goblins, Double Dragon 2. The secret codes. And we have this, perhaps we should zoom the view out a bit. Red Mages in Party Hat.
Red Mages _ in Party Hats has subscribed. ABBA.
Red Mages and Party Hats, we would like to take our hat off to you, noted alumni of knowledge. Wholesome greetings to you on this, the archaeology of the Nintendo Strategy Guide. Now, there are also strategy tips for Ghosts and Goblins. The best weapon is the dagger. Make sure you get it to face the challenges ahead. If you want to warp, use the code and go to level 1-1. Keep killing the zombies here until you've gotten the dagger. Then, jump onto an enemy and kill yourself. Now this guide, meant for children, does tell you to kill yourself. Now you can warp to any level you want, starting out with the dagger. However, make sure to pass up all other weapons and be aware that some monsters are immune to some weapons. For example, the unicorn, in parentheses Cyclops, is immune to the cross. The dragon cannot be harmed by the javelin. Here is a trap to look out for. Don't warp directly to level 4. Since you'll start out with the javelin, and there is a dragon at the end of the level, there is no way to change your weapon here. You'll be stuck. Now, I would like to point out there is a cross that is collectible in stage 4. It is a bit hidden, but there is a cross there. Technically not correct information here. How about Double Dragon 2? To get extra lives, play 2 players mode B, then kill off all the other players' lives. Classic trick, of course. For every time you kill one of the opposite player's lives, you gain a life. Here are some tips on using special attack moves. Uppercut. Uppercut. Jump up, and as soon as you land, press the attack button in the direction you're facing. Cyclone kick. Jump, and in the air, press the A button repeatedly. Hair pull, kick, shoulder throw. Get up real close to a thug while punching him out. Then attack forward to kick him in the face. Attack behind you to throw him. Now, what is missing from here? The knee. The knee is not even mentioned. It's almost as if the small child that wrote this guide did not know about the knee. Very curious. Very curious. Now, the last page here, this is where it gets a little bit unexpected. Guide to Brian's Computer Games. Brian, the author of this guide. Kaboom! To win this game, you must... Now, how old was the person who made this? I'm gonna guess 9 or 10. I'm gonna guess the person who wrote this was 9 or 10. To win this game, you must master throwing explosives. In the harder levels, you must know how long to wait in order to throw the bomb a precise distance. The only way to know how to do this is by lots of practice, but here is a guideline to follow. For the first 5 seconds, the longer you wait, the more powerful your throw will be. If you throw precisely 5 seconds, the bomb will go on top of the building and get the secret hidden cake. The longer you wait after 5 seconds, the less powerful your throw will be. Here is some power... Well, let's see if we can play a different song here. Here are some power objects you are not of. Here are some power objects you are not of in the beginning of the game. Besides the 1-up cake, there's also a 2-up cake, which grants 2 continues, and a 3-up cake, which grants 3 continues. These are found on top of buildings. And if you get to the bonus round more than once, there is also a warp cake, which allows you to warp to a higher level, found at the top of the bonus round building. If you use the trick above, which allows your bomb to go on top of the roofs of the buildings, at the 6th level, something special will happen. Wow. Now, there was an Atari game, I believe, called Kaboom. There was an Atari game called Kaboom where you're just catching, you like move a little guy with the basket around and you're catching the bombs being dropped by a robber. I believe it's an Activision game. But this game is a game made by this mythical person, this mythical child, Brian. Now, I personally have no memory of this game. Now, wait, maybe I have a vague memory? Okay, but what was this? I don't think this was programmed. I think that maybe it was a game. I remember making games in a Paint program, and perhaps this was one of them. Surely inspired by that Atari game. I do vaguely remember something about cakes. Monocule, that would be Tuesday morning. Now, I I guess like you would, I think how it worked is you would say when to throw the bomb and then I would throw it and then there would be like little art of the building. Probably inspired by by Atari games in general. Wow. I wish I remember I made a lot of like quote games in paint programs. And many of them were like kind of fake games that were just like ideas for games, but like I made whole levels and but I don't have any of that stuff anymore. I wish I still did. Look for these exciting games in the next issue. Mega Man 2, Guardian Legend, Super C. I can't wait. Can you guys? Now, in case you missed it, here were the posters that came in this exciting issue. They came with 2 posters. This one for Ghosts and Goblins. Look at the beautiful art here. You got Arthur and some graves. And you've got a castle. You got all the bosses here. And then we have this poster for Iron Tank. There's the tank. And there's the train boss. And in the background is the base. And there's like 2 fighter planes there. Look at that. Iron Tank, and there's the logo. So all of that exciting content was in issue 1, the Nintendo Strategy Guide. I think it is time that we must investigate issue 2. Now, I would like to note, this was a copy, a photocopy. This is the original. This is the original Nintendo Strategy Guide. You can see that it is a booklet that is stapled together, I think, and this cover is taped on. All of these things are taped on. Well, I mean, they're computer printouts that are taped into paper booklet. That's how it was made, and the poster's in there as well. Here's the original poster, pencil drawing. The original. This is the original. This, and there's even a signature on the bottom. Now this is truly an artifact, a work of art. Now, if this signature were... Oh, you can feel the paper crackle as you open it as well. If this were signed, I'm guessing this would have been 1988, 89? There's no date. It could be... When did Ghosts and Goblins come out? 1980... 88, 89? I want to guess 1989. Created by perhaps a 12-year-old child? Perhaps 12 years old. Now here we have the original. Let's look at the photocopy of... And there would have been other photocopies, perhaps given away to friends. This is Nintendo Strategy Guide 2. Still worth 50 cents, as you can see. Now here we have Quick Man, Snake Man. This seems to be Heat Man peeking out of the corner. And of course, you all know who this is. Metal Man. There he is. There's Dr. Wily. Includes codes on 10 games. These games included in this booklet: Mega Man 2, Super C, Blaster Master, Guardian Legend, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Includes posters. Wow. Let's take a look inside. The Nintendo Strategy Guide, Issue 2. Table of Contents. This time the table of contents is on the inside front cover. Game ratings, Blaster Master, Mega Man 2, TMNT, codes, secret strategies, and Brian's games. Can't wait to see which one of Brian's games will be included in this one. And we have more game ratings. Let's take a look. Abadox. Expert. Graphics are a 4. No music ratings. Interesting. Blaster Master Advanced. Now, I would say Blaster Master is harder than Abadox, but yet Blaster Master is only advanced. Graphics only a 3 for Blaster Master. Let's take a quick break to say hello and bid a warm greetings to our noted knowledge alumni, Skittle of the Brow. Welcome. Welcome to this stream of archaeology. And we're currently investigating the Nintendo Strategy Guide, Issue 2. Contra. Right now, these are the game ratings. Now, Abadox Expert, Blaster Master Advanced. For some reason, Blaster Master is rated as not as hard as Abadox and also worse graphics. Contra Advanced. Only Advanced. Graphics only a 3 for Contra. Abadox is 4, but Blaster Master and Contra only a 3 for graphics. Deadly Towers Expert. Well, that seems appropriate. Graphics a 2. Now that makes a bit more sense. Gradius Advanced. Graphics only a 2. Alright. The original Gradius, fair enough. Guardian Legend Advanced. Graphics a 3. That's a little harsh. Life Force Advanced. Graphics, again, only a 3. Only Abadox is being held up above all these other games. Mega Man 1 is advanced, graphics a 3, but Mega Man 2 graphics are boosted to a 4. But it's only intermediate challenge. Makes sense. Metal Gear Advanced 3, Super Contra only a 3. And Zelda 2 Advanced, they're all just advanced. The 12-year-old who made it, Monocule. Perhaps we could find him and you could tell him yourself. Tell that 12-year-old who made this what a bullshit rating that was. Let's look inside the guide to Blaster Master. Because as we know, Blaster Master is an advanced game, so you certainly may need guidance. It's a little hard to read. Let me just remove the inner pages to make it easier. Start out by going right. Start out by going right, making sure to avoid the poison swamp. At the end of the corridor, go through the door and go down. Go through the door to the right and head right. Ignore the ladder and keep moving right. Then jump down the pit. And right here and go into the water. Swim down until you get to the ladder. Then climb out of your car and swim upwards. Go into the door and find your way to the mutant squid. Stay inside the circle of blobs while tossing grenades at him. Already this seems like very useful information for playing the game of Blaster Master. Let us continue. In level 2, go right while blasting homing probes with homing missiles. Go through the door and head up to the top of the vertical chamber. Go in the door to the right and head up. Go in the door and to the left and head to the very top of the chamber. From here, go right and proceed until you get to 2 corridors. Take the upper one and take the second corridor going down. The bottom, go left until you reach a door. In here, find your way towards the mutant crab. To beat him, stay at the bottom of the screen out of reach of his claws, moving left and right to avoid his bullets. When he raises his claws up, rush up to him and toss a grenade at him, then go back down again. Repeat this process to finish him. Knowing these steps for the game, you should be able to get a lot farther. Here are some tips for later levels. Well, this guide is very detailed with this information. This seems very useful. In level 4, to beat the frog, you must know his pattern. First he shoots his tongue, then acid balls, then homing fire. Get to his sides. There's more. Where you can get him where he can't get you. When he starts to fire homing fire, get as far away as possible. In level 5, once you've swum to the bottom, get out of your car. You'll have to make the rest of the journey on foot. The entrance to level 7 is right below the entrance to level 3, in the golden passage in level 2. You'll need wall 1 to get there. You guys all know about wall 1, don't you? Sure you do. To get to level 8, go to level 3, and then go right through the door. Go down through the door, and then walk on the ceiling using wall 2. Remember the difference between wall 1 and wall 2. You'll go... the you'll here has a comma instead of an apostrophe. You see that? You'll go right over the spikes and to the entrance of level 8. I've never heard of that game before, Collie, but I bet it could use a strategy guide like this. I'm sure that would have helped you greatly. In level 8, go down on the left wall and go through the door. Head down immediately. Fall down the spiked pit closest to the right wall. Go through the door on the right. Go through the first part of this corridor by going on the ceiling. Then ignore the first door and go down. If you are low on hover, go through the second door and go on the ceiling of the corridor. At the end, go in the door and get more hover. If you have a full hover meter, ignore that door and go left to the third door. Use hover to get over the pit, then go left and fall down the pit. Go right and take the lower passage. Use hover to get over pits where there is a low ceiling. Go in the door and go down. Take the doorway to the left and head left. In this long passageway, don't bother shooting any enemies. Just run through as fast as you can. When you finally get to the door, head up and in the door for a showdown with the last mutant boss. And there you have it. That's a guide to Blaster Master, as written by a 12-year-old. Not bad. I feel like I've learned a lot. See what's next. A guide to Mega Man 2. Here is a guide to all of Dr. Wily's evil robots. Flashman. Alright, let's get some more appropriate music for Mega Man 2, of course. Flashman. Flashman's level is the easiest to get through. Some items I guess that's true. Some items you may not be able to get because you don't have enough special powers yet. But don't worry, you don't need them. Good. That's good guidance. Bubble Man, watch out for the dropping platforms in the first part of the level. The only way to beat the lanternfish is to shoot the lamp on his head. Make sure to make small jumps in areas with spikes on the ceiling. In the last part, wait for the crabs to come down onto a platform before jumping onto it. Metal Man. Use Time Freeze to get through the areas where the ceiling falls down to the floor. To take care of the gear clowns, first blast the gear out from under the clown. Then blast the clown. Woodman. In the room right before hot dogs. You guys remember the hot dogs from Woodman, don't you? Use Time Freeze and the hot dogs won't appear. I remember that tip from Nintendo Power. Use Metal Blade. How much of this just comes from Nintendo Power? Use Metal Blades to get the Mecha Apes and the birds that drop eggs. Airman. Wait for the Air Tiki's horns to go down before jumping onto him. So they were called Air Tikis. I see. use the leaf shield in the areas where there are birds, and you'll literally get showered with power-ups. Use metal blades to kill the toothpaste cannons. Literally. Crashman. Use the leaf shield. I believe, by the way, that is figuratively being showered with powder-ups, but we'll just keep going. Use the leaf shield on the moving platforms to keep away the spinning spools. Beat Crashman with the air shooter. Very brief guide for Crashman. Heatman. Use the jet sled to get over large amounts of lava. Use bubble lead to kill Heatman. So, yeah, that's it. The whole guide is just simply use the jet. Quickman. Use the bubble lead in the blackout areas. Then use time freeze to get through the energy beam. However, if you somehow get past Quickman's stage without using time freeze, you can use it in Quickman's room to actually suck his energy. Heat works best on it. Hello, Shark. Yes. Welcome to the Literature Club. Now, we're currently reading the Nintendo Strategy Guide, Issue 2. Now, this, of course, is the famous Nintendo Strategy Guide that I'm sure that you're very well aware of. Everybody knows this guide. And over here I have the legendary first issue, which we've already read on Ghosts and Goblins and Double Dragon 2. We are delving into the famous second issue of the Nintendo Strategy Guide. Look at this professional quality artwork on the guide. We'll be seeing more artwork soon. Now, let's read about the Dr. Wily stages. Stage 1. Use the leaf shield to blast away the birds, then use the jet sled to fly past the rest of the horizontal part of the level. Shoot the worms that the toothpaste cannons... Now, is that the official name of the enemy? Toothpaste cannon. Very interesting. For lots of extra power-ups, then blast them with metal blades. Use wall walking platform to get up the wall. Then make sure to get the 1-up. Climb up the rest of the way and then use 3 levitation platforms to get to the unreachable ladder. Now, by the way, these whole strategy guide, I believe, is heavily inspired by the Jeff Rovin Nintendo guide. So are you familiar with the... I remember having these guides as a child, the Jeff Rovin. Did anyone else remember the Jeff Rovin Nintendo guides? Because I feel like they were written pretty much like this. Pretty much exactly how these are written. Like, next go here, beat this enemy. They looked like this. How to win at Nintendo games. New expanded edition. Secret codes, hot strategies, all the top games. And then... but you know what? How to win Nintendo games too. The one I remember is this specific cover. It was this specific cover. How to Win at Nintendo by Jeff Rovin. I bet these sold like hotcakes. There's multiple of these. I had the first 2 I had. I never had 3. This was the cover. I remember this cover. Yep, this is the first one. The initial printing. This is the initial printing. The first and only guide to the hidden codes. Well, you can barely read this. It's so bad quality. But passwords and strategies needed to... So it was written exactly like this. It was written exactly like this. Like, it was like in paragraph form. Like, there would be guide. I remember there was a guide to Deadly Towers. I would like to find text of this guide and read it again someday. I remember reading, like, sitting down and just reading the guide, like, from cover to cover. So this was an official guide that was published. This is what I wrote as a 12-year-old. I made my own guides. But like, I remember specifically, I've got a specific memory of the Deadly Towers guide. I read it before I ever got the game Deadly Towers, and it just made it sound like the most intriguing, mysterious thing. It's like, go into this area, then touch this space, and you'll be teleported into a secret dungeon. You'll be in a room with 4 blue bounders. Go up, left 3 times and down, and go past the bounders, and you'll find a secret shop. And I would read that, and I would be picturing it in my head. I'd be trying to picture it, and I'd be so intrigued. So when I finally got Deadly Towers, it was, you know, well, I mean, it was intriguing. It was like, it was different than what I expected. But man, I vividly remember that reading the Deadly Towers section of the How to Win at Nintendo guide by Jeff Rovin. Did anybody else ever read that? I don't know. Here's the original. This is the original, so you can see that like so it's like a booklet made of computer paper, I think, and there's a paper taped on. This is taped. I don't know if you can see. This is taped. Each page is like taped on. So you have like a booklet of blank pages, and then I printed out this stuff. I printed it out and then taped it on to the booklet. See? That's how I made it. This is taped on. All of these are like little. I cut it out. I made a computer printout. And I cut out the paper, and then I taped it onto the booklet. And that's how I made this booklet. Is that ingenious? Is that like, for like a 12-year-old? I don't know. That's what I did. I mean, and then like, yeah, not glued, taped, which is probably better, because if it was glued, it would have like got all warped. And, you know, so the tape was a good choice. So like and then I photocopied it, and I made some photocopies, so like, I don't know, give away to neighbors or something. Or friends, whatever, like, of the 1 or 2 friends I had. I don't know, maybe I gave it away to them. But, I mean, it actually worked pretty well, because, like, for the photocopied versions, you can't even tell that it's, like, taped. You know? Of course, like, it's not even stapled or anything. It's like, the pages are just kind of folded together. Anyway, yeah, so, you know. Should I read like all the rest of the Dr. Wily text? There's kind of a lot of it. Here we have the photos for, the posters for Mega Man 2. This is the Mega Man 2 poster. Now, the original is just done in pencil. But when it's photocopied like this, it ends up looking like, I believe the original is in pencil, or maybe it's pen. Let's see here. Is the poster in here still? The original? Here's the original poster. Yeah, it actually is done in pen. It's like part pen and part pencil. Let's just look at the photocopied version. Should I put these online? I should probably put these online. Who else wants to see these? You get all the mans here for the Mega Man 2 poster. Uh-oh. It's my wife calling. Here's all the mans at the bottom. All the mans. Hey, baby. Whoa, what you got? Look at your cute hat. What are you doing? Are you on a motorcycle? Hold on a second, guys. My wife is like on a motorcycle or something. Honey, you shouldn't be calling on a motorcycle. Just put your... Oh, wow, look at that. Okay, honey, well, it's good to... Well, it looks very exciting on the motorcycle. I think you should hang up. And I think you should put both hands... I think you should put both hands on the driver. And just focus on staying alive, okay? Honey? I love you, but thank you. I love you, honey. Just focus on staying alive, okay? Okay. I'll call me back when you get off the motorcycle, okay? Love you. Bye-bye. Okay. And that was my wife calling me from the motorcycle. That's that's how they do things in the Philippines. All right. That makes me a little nervous. Her like you calling me on the phone. But whatever. Let's not worry about that. Let's get back to the Nintendo strategy guide. Why is Metal Man slicing his own crotch? Now, that is a pertinent question. Let's take a look again. Is he? Hold on a second. Now, I think he's just simply holding two blades. He's holding it. He's not slicing his crotch. See, there's distance between. Think in terms of perspective, Skittles. The blade is just being held out. All right, he's not slicing his own crotch. Skittles is just being crazy, criticizing the artwork of a 12-year-old. All right, Blaster Master, look at that fancy logo. Now let's look at the art of Blaster Master. Here we go. All right, that's it. We got a tank, and we just got a lot of platforms. A lot of floating platforms floating above a line. Pretty good. Now, I don't know the date that this was made. I want to guess that I was probably 12 when I made this. My guess is 12. And of course you could... I could look up when the Jeff Robin guide came out, because this is like super heavily inspired by that. When did the Jeff Robin guide come out? It would be after all the games mentioned in this guide. 1988 and 1989? This guy probably made a killing on these books. We also wrote standalone novels. The Hindenburg Disaster. He made the Reanimator novelization. Oh wow, this guy made the novelization for the Reanimator. And for Cliffhanger and April Fool's Day and Mortal Kombat and Broken Arrow and the game. What about his Nintendo books? When did those come out specifically? How to Win in Nintendo Games came out in 1988. 1988 and 1989. I believe some of these games would be 1989. So 1988, I would have been 11. 1989, I would have been 12. These were made when I was 11 or 12. I would guess 12. Because a little bit... these are actually reasonably... they're not too badly written, considering that a kid wrote them. You also write novels, Skittles. I would love to read them, or maybe you should do a stream where you just read them on the stream. Here's the secret codes. We got Contra, 30-man code, Deadly Towers, the super weapons code. I remember this one, changing the first two letters. Gradius, super speed firing ability. When you have 6 capsules and you see the question mark on the screen, grab the 7th capsule when your score has a 0 in this thousands column and press a button. That's in the game? I didn't know about. Forgot about that. Guardian Legend. All this stuff probably came from Nintendo Power. Sound Test, I remember that very well. But Guardian Legend also special warp code, that's the TGL code, that's in the game. Special message code. I vaguely remember that too. Kid Icarus, a code for unlimited life potions, yeah, I remember that. That was probably also a Nintendo Power. Probably most of these were. Life Force, Mega Man 2. Metal Gear Blast Away the Enemy? that's probably what that's probably like the name of the code in Nintendo Power. Super Contra, a 10 extra men code in Soundfest. Secret strategies. All right, let's read the secret strategies in some of these games here. Abadox. Once you've won the game and you start a new game immediately afterwards, you'll be invincible. To kill the very last boss at the end of 6-2, get the laser beam, and as soon as you're approaching him, go get right in front of his left eye and start blasting him. You should be able to get enough shots in before he shoots you. I feel like I did that on stream. That sounds very thrilling, Skittles, and I would love to read them. Blaster Master. To kill enemy bosses in levels 3, 4, 6, and 7. Throw a grenade, and as soon as it hits the enemy, pause the game. Unpause it after about 10 seconds. And if you timed it right, he'll be dead. The classic pause technique in Blaster Master. Deadly Towers. To kill the last enemy, switch on the magic mace and pulverize him. Yeah, the magic mace. If you actually manage to save it to the last boss, is quite can kill it really fast. And Mega Man, this just says the order in which to do the stages. And it also says about using the select. Oh, it's the pause strat in that as well is mentioned here. Metal Gear. We got Metal Gear strategies, Super C, and Zelda 2. Zelda 2 is talking about where the hidden town is. And it gives us strategies for like fighting the last bosses. Alright, now here's the part I'm really interested in. Brian's computer games. Now for those that missed it, this is the really crazy part. At the end of Strategy Guide 1, it talks about this game, Kaboom. This is a guide to Brian's computer game. Now, this game, Kaboom, was a, quote, game I made in a paintbrush program on whatever my old IBM computer. I made it, and what I used to do is I used to make games in paintbrush programs, and then I would ask my family members if they wanted to play, and like I would, because I didn't know how to program anything, so I would enact the programming of the game. So, apparently how it worked is, you would have to tell me when to throw the bomb, and then depending on when you told me when to throw it, I would then I would make the bomb move, and there was this elaborate system where if you depending on the timing, it could go on the roof, and I put cakes on the roof. Dimensions here. There's a 1-up cake, a 2-up cake, a 3-up cake, and there's even a bonus warp cake. There's a bonus round with a warp cake. And I very vaguely remember making graphics for this. Later on, I would try to program my own games, but I do remember making some of these games in paintbrush programs. And I wish I still had any of that stuff. That stuff is long gone. I wish I still had any of it. Just to look at it. Oh. So anyway. Whoops. So anyway, I want to see what the game is. Brian's game. There's some stuff. I wrote some stuff down in the back as well. I don't know what all this stuff is. Just me taking notes on the numbers of the different mans, I guess. So let's see what Brian's computer game is. Oh man, I'm really curious about this. Okay, you got Labyrinth. In this game, you must travel through 7 mazes in order to find the Holy Grail. You can get a dagger, axe, spear, armor, bombs, candles, magic wands, maps, gold, potions, and keys. Sounds like typical video game stuff. The Holy Grail was from one of my favorite Atari games, Adventure. But a lot of this stuff is typical kind of Ghosts and Goblins stuff. I don't remember this at all. I don't even remember what this looked like. I have no memory of this Labyrinth. And there was a Labyrinth 2. This is the sequel to Labyrinth. The evil wizards split the Holy Grail into 4 pieces and put them into separate castles. Now this must be heavily inspired by what was one of my favorite Atari games adventure on the Atari 2600, I'm sure. Yeah, I was just drinking some rum like about an hour ago, Skittles. It helped me come up with the idea for this stream. Actually, this was something I was thinking about doing for a while. I did spell labyrinth correctly, at least. Oh, but here, look at this one. The imposter... That's okay, the imposter's in the wrong place. Honest mistake. Your job is to find the castles, reunite the Grail, and destroy the evil wizard. You can even get more items, like power gloves, helmets, thunders, sledgehammers, battle axes, and magic flutes. I have no memory of this either. Like, absolutely no memory of either of these. I wonder what they look like. I'm sure they were just... I mean... I vaguely remember, like, making a bunch of, like, graphics for, like, mazes, like, tiles and, like, items and stuff in paint programs as a kid, but I don't really remember how this worked or, like, what this was. It was probably more of an idea for a game than, like, anything, you know. Demon Rock Castle. Venture into an ancient castle in search of a demon wizard. This game is a lot like the Nintendo game Shadowgate. I remember that. I do remember, like, making my own Shadowgate-like program in Paintbrush. Now, again, it wasn't like an actual real game. I don't think it was more like the idea for a game. Bounty Hunter. I remember this one a bit more vividly. I think. 6 different criminals. Alright. Couldn't quite get the spelling of criminals right. Criminals have escaped space prison and fled to their bases. You must enter each base in search of the criminal, still spelled this way, criminal, while watching out for booby traps at the same time. Now this... I remember getting, like, my family members to play this. So this was an actual game in a way. It was like... It was based on, like... okay, so it was a tile-based... It used tile-based graphics. I wish I still... No, just go back to that. Just play this one. I made like these little mazes using like tiles in a paint program. So it was like these sort of big elaborate mazes. And the idea with this game was that it was based on, you could make it so that the mouse like snapped to a grid. So you'd have to move your little guy around the... So you would take the little piece of artwork with the mouse, and you could pick it up, and you were supposed to move the little guy around the little maze. And because it was snapped to a grid, like, there would be blank space, like, there'd be black space pathways, and then there'd be, like, little wall tiles. And if your little guy touched the walls, that counted as damage. And that's how this worked. So you had to, like, it was like a mouse manipulation. You had to move your little guy around the maze and, like, try not to touch the walls. Moving carefully. That was with the idea of that game. So it was sort of like a real game. Overlords. A role-playing fantasy game like Dragon Warrior. I don't really remember anything about that at all. I'm sure I would have wanted to make something like that as a kid, but I don't remember ever... I mean, I certainly never had anything that was programmed. I did have some I had some actual programmed games that I made later on. Alright guys, let's take a look at Nintendo Strategy Guide Volume 3, or Issue 3. Now, it's still worth 50 cents, although it doesn't have the cents thing there anymore, but includes, as you can tell, it's probably got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in it. It also has Final Fantasy, Dragon Warrior, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Super Mario Brothers, and Super Mario Brothers 2. And it includes posters, don't worry. Alright. Yeah, we have, I'll look at this other stuff in a bit. I've got a whole bunch, like, I've got a whole box full of, like, notebooks and folders here. Alright, maybe we'll go to, like, here. Get a table of contents. More game ratings. Let's take a look at the game ratings. 1943 Now, the curious thing about that is I don't remember ever playing 1943, but maybe I did. I did play 1942, but I don't ever remember playing 1943 until Fliptendo. But anyway, I said it's advanced and it has a 2 for graphics. Kind of harsh. Adventure Island, advanced, and a 2. I'm surprised this one isn't expert, but I probably just never made it far enough to realize how hard the game actually was. Would be my guess. Bionic Commando, advanced, 3 for graphics. That's a little harsh. Bomberman, advanced, and a 2. I guess I played the NES Bomberman, but I barely remember playing that game. Dragon Warrior, advanced, and a 3. Final Fantasy, expert, and a 4. I guess Final Fantasy made an impression on me as being like a hard game with all the instant death stuff. And I really liked Final Fantasy, of course. Gauntlet, advanced, and a 3. Ghostbusters, intermediate, and a 2. That's weird. I probably did play Ghostbusters when I was a kid, but I don't think I really had any concept of like how bad the game was, and I don't think I played it for very long. I certainly don't think I ever made it to the building where you climb the building, because I would have given it a much higher difficulty score than this. I don't think I probably played the game for like 10 or 15 minutes. I don't know. But yet I still decided to put it in here. I don't know why. Gunsmoke, advanced 3. Stay Cross, advanced 2. Did I really play that? Because I don't have no memory of playing... This is another game that, when I played it in Fliptendo, I had no memory of ever playing it before. That's weird. But maybe I was just... Like, I think I did have a Nintendo encyclopedia, and I was just putting games from that into here. Super Mario Bros. 2, advanced, only a 3. TMNT, advanced, and 4. See, TMNT gets a 4. Because I like the Turtles. Xanic, advanced, and 2. Wow. I think Xanic should be expert. Interesting ratings. We got a long guide here for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles NES game. The complete guide to beating Shredder, the Technodrome, and the evil Empire foot soldiers. This game would be better if Krang was in it, though. I guess he's not really in the first NES game. The Turtles. Michelangelo is best against small enemies. Use Donatello against large and powerful enemies. Leonardo is useful on all types of enemies. Use Raphael, not as a fighter, but as someone, got an extra 0 there, to run through dangerous areas where fighting skills aren't required, like Stage 2, Waterworld. Stage 2 is called Waterworld. Did you guys know that? And we got some detailed instructions here. Stage 1, avoid the first sewer, enter the second sewer if you need any pizza, and the third sewer. Bebop, spelled B-E-E-B-O-P. Use Don's bow to whack him down to size. Travel northwest until you reach the narrow passage that's blocked by an open manhole. Enter it, get the pizza, and then leave. Repeat this process until all your turtles have full power. Then head through the sewers. Stay in the bottom pathway and use Dawn to take care of the mud creatures above you. When you come to the Chainsaw Maniac, Maniac spelled like... Well, there's an extra I. Stay in the lower ledge and the left side and cut him down to size using Leo when he comes close. Once you're out of the sewers, proceed to the large building and enter it. Inside here is Rocksteady. When you meet him, get on top of the pile of crates while using Dawn and keep firing your bow downwards. Some things are capitalized and some aren't. I'm not sure if there's consistency. Alright, let's see the instructions for the dam. Here's the instructions for the dam, and this is it. Wait. Let's go back. for the dam instructions. So the actual building up until the water part. However, it is hard to jump it because of the low ceiling. Make a small jump by tapping the button lightly and jumping to the very edge of the pit. It will take you some practice before you can make it over. In the water, take out the 8 bombs. They are hard to find and many dangers are found here. That's it. No detailed instructions on where to get those bombs. They're just hard to find. Stage 3. Head to the building in the northwest corner. This is the only building that has missiles that is accessible to your turtles now. The robots in here are tough to defeat. Also, when you encounter one, use Dawn. Also, remember that you can just walk over pits only 1 space wide. Remember that, guys. When you have the missiles, head down south. There's a building here where captured turtles are put. However, you will have to get out of the van and walk over the bridge to get to it. To get to Splinter, you will first have to go all the way around to the bottom of the map. Head to the far right, head upwards as far as you can go. Follow the path from here until you get to the building. Enter and proceed through. I think we need some different music here. Here, this ought to be good. Oh wait, that's not the right game. Yeah, there we go, it's better. Blah, 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 blah. When you reach the Mega Turtle, don't worry, he is very easy to defeat. Just make sure you have some kind of special weapon, that's all. Use Don's bow to finish him. When he dies, get up to the top right ledge. Access Youth throwing weapon. When Mecha Turtle has changed to his real form, use it to blast him and the occasional missile he shoots at you. But don't worry about his bullets. You're too high for them to reach you. Good information. We actually have, oh my goodness, like 2 more full pages, including detailed Technodrome instructions. There are many doorways and manholes. This area is like a maze. Look for Captured Turtle in Section 13. Section 17 is where you'll have the most trouble. Shredder has booby-trapped a few of the rooms with pits that you must fall down to get to the next room, and spiked walls that close in. If you even touch them, you'll die. When you get to a room with a slice of pizza and several holes in the floor that are 1 space wide, be cautious as you fall into the next room. When you arrive, run immediately to the left and fall down the pit, and run right and fall down the pit. Then run left and enter the next room where you must do the exact same thing. That's right, Skittles. Keep in mind that if you just walk over a pit, you'll walk over it. Okay, now this is important, guys. Keep in mind that if you just walk over a pit, you'll walk over it. Because they are only 1 space wide. Make sure you stop abruptly over. Well, look at, I actually use the terminology stop abruptly over the pit so that you'll fall in immediately. If you don't, you'll have to double back and then you won't have enough time. Once you've made it through the 2 rooms with the spiked walls, you're almost to the giant Mouser. Get right under him and shoot upwards using Dawn. He is easy to beat. That is true. Stage 5. The Technodrome could be in any of the 3 sewers. Before going there, go to the building at the northwestern corner. Head downwards until you reach the boomerang. Get it, then climb out of the room. If you go back, the boomerang will be back again. Keep doing this until you filled your supply of boomerangs. Exactly, Skittles, exactly. At the end of each of the sewers, there is a door with a symbol of the Foot Clan over it. Inside there could be a Technodrome. Of it could be an empty room. That should be an ore. If you do find the Technodrome, use Donatello. Wait until the force field is spelled wrong. Should be F-I-E-L-D. Goes down. And then charge the Technodrome and destroy the guns. Then blast the hatch door so that the foot soldiers stop coming out. Finally, destroy the eye. Now that you have put the Technodrome out of commission, you are ready to journey inside. Wow, this advanced terminology written by this 12-year-old is not bad. Hey, Kev Larson, what do you think about this 12-year-old written strategy guide? Not bad, huh? Beware, however, get that use of commas there, because it will be dangerous. Inside its depths is a scroll weapon. It is found to the right of the first pit with a turret. Well, I didn't spell turret correctly, but, you know, it's a tough word. Above it. Make sure you shoot the turret with the throwing weapon before trying to jump over a pit. Otherwise, you'd get knocked into the pit. In the Technodrome, there are 3 different areas. The first has a brownish colored background. This is where you start out. When you reach the door and go through it, you will enter a grayish area. This is where the scroll weapon is. If you reach the next door, it will take you to a long horizontal corridor. When you reach the end, you must ascend the ladder. Destroy the laser, I spelled laser L-A-Z-O-R, L-A-S-O-R, laser, shooting alien, then move to the left. Here is where you will find the door to the shredder. In the Technodrome, you will encounter a wide variety of enemies, including the flying propeller, the robo-kangaroo, and most deadly of all, air soldiers. Air, spelled soilgers. The air soilgers. The most deadly of all. They're the most deadly of all. Air soilgers fly over your head. Oh, I'm talking about, I said he, it's me. Talking about those guys in the corridor of death that shoot the lasers at you. Where it's like, yeah. The air soilgers fly over your head while shooting lethal lasers. They are relatively few in the first 2 areas, but in long horizontal corridors before Shredder, they swarm and are almost impossible to get past without the scroll weapon. When you finally see, I don't see anything in here about, like, you have to sort of tactically despawn them using, like, you have to basically, like, inch forward and despawn them and duck under them. That's, like, the real way to do it. The scroll's not really that helpful. When you finally reach the Shredder, make sure you have saved up all of Dawn's power. Get to the bottom and wait for him to jump off the upper platform. When he does jump to the upper platform from the opposite side, he will circle at the bottom of the floor, but occasionally, spelled with an A, he will jump up for you. Make a leap while shooting your bow downward. I spelled bow differently here. I spelled it correctly at this time. Before I was spelling it B-O-W. Your bow downwards to hit him and avoid being hit. Above all, watch out for his retro-mutagen gun, capitalized R. One hit and you're an ordinary turtle. However, it's much easier to dodge if you stay in the upper platform. Well, I think this guide is an expert level guide. All right, let's take a quick look at the posters that were included with Booklet 3. We have the Adventure Island poster. Guys, take a look at that. Got the bones. Look at the bones. The whole logo is made of bones. I guess, of course, you always have enemies pictured here. And we have the poster, of course, for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Very simple. We just got the 4 turtles. And an attempted rendering the logo from the cartoon show. I like how Raphael is kind of like, he's kind of bent here, so he can like sort of make a rounded thing with the turtles, and then like 2 of them are sort of crammed in here. Like Michelangelo is sort of in the back. He's sort of crammed in the corner there. So it can sort of be like rounded. Good. Good. Leo, only Donatello has his turtle shell in the back sort of rendered. The spelling of ninja. Yeah, is that an intentional apostrophe or is it just like a mark by accident? I don't know. All right, let's look at some tips for Final Fantasy. Start out with this adventure. Oh man, we need different music for Final Fantasy, certainly. Don't we, guys? I think so. No, wait a second. Not that one. Let's go with... Wait, no, that's not right either. There we go. It's very quiet, though. What the heck? Oh, it fades in. All right. Start out with its adventure party. Fighter, white mage, black belt. Make sure the fighter is the head of the party. Totally wrong direction. I mean, if that's like a tip as towards an effective party, you really should. But of course, I didn't know this at the time. You really should just use a combination of fighters and red mages if you want the most effective party. But of course, this combination is what like the official Nintendo strategy guide probably told you to do. So that's why I'm saying it. Corneria Castle. Here's a list of the weapons, armor, and spells that should be equipped with each light warrior. And we got like a little list of what. And then it tells you like what spells to buy as well. Cure, harm, fire, lit, sleep. The enemies of the forest around you are mostly pretty easy to defeat. Temple of Fiends. There isn't much treasure in the Temple of Fiends. You may want to just skip it and go right to Garland. The following monsters are vulnerable to the harm and the fire spell. Bone, zombies, and ghouls. Yeah, make sure they have party hats. True. Right, red mages? Red mages already fell asleep. I think he stumbled into the stream a little bit drunk. Run away from all gray wolves as they were tough to defeat. When you reach Garland, have your FT, BB, and your WM attack, while your BM is using this suddenly using initials. I guess there's initial codes up here for all of them. See that? While your BM is using the spell of fire, your WM should use a cure spell if a warrior is injured. You have to make sure you use initials. You can't just like say the names. Once you rescue the princess, you will be warped back to the castle. The North Bridge will be built for you and a loot will be given to you. Make sure you stay at the inn before starting on your dangerous journey to Pravoka. The enemies across the North Bridge are very dangerous. Make sure you have several heal potions. Head first to Matoya's cave. Inside is treasure and info. The broom will tell you the buttons you must push in the overworld to see the overworld map. Try reading his message backwards. Pravoka. Make sure you save your game as soon as you get there. I don't really not remember that that's what the town is called. Then you must face the pirates who have terrorized the town. Go talk to BK, the pirate over in the western part of town. He will turn his crew loose on you. You will have to fight them off. Have your BM cast the spell of Slep, while your light warriors each attack a different pirate. When you beat them, BK will give up and hand over his pirate ship to you. Now you can cruise the seas. And then it shows like the next weapons and spells you should be getting. You will have to save a lot of gold to buy some of these things, but make sure you do have them eventually when you go south. Alright, now that's all you get in Final Fantasy. We have some more secret codes. 1943 Battle of Midway. Warp codes. I really don't ever remember playing this game as a kid, but I'm sure I got these codes from like one of the Jeff Robin books or Nintendo Power or who knows. Venture Island, there's a Hudson Bee in an invisible egg to the right of the floating platform in Area 1-1. Get it, and then next time you die, hold to the left and press start so you can continue. I'm fairly positive that I never beat Adventure Island as a kid. Maybe I never even played it that far. I know I never beat Ghosts and Goblins. I did beat Final Fantasy, though. I did beat Final Fantasy, but I never beat Ghosts and Goblins. Some of these games, I remember getting stuck in stage 3. Not stage 2, but stage 3 of Ghosts and Goblins, and I could never pass that as a kid. Bionic Commando, I never beat that as a kid. Bomberman, I don't even remember playing that. Final Fantasy, while on pirate ship, hold A and press B 55 times. What was that for again? That was like to see that's for like a sound test or something. Oh no, that was for the slide puzzle. Like, look at what it says for Bionic Commando. To escape from a deadly situation, hold A and B and press start. That's probably taken directly from like a Jeff Robin book. Gauntlet. I don't think I ever played I don't remember playing the NES version of Gauntlet as a kid. Even if I did, I didn't get very far. Ghostbusters, the same thing. feel like I probably did play Ghostbusters, but like I didn't play it very much. Gunsmoke. I don't really remember playing Gunsmoke either as a kid. Or Saycross. Or Xanac. Like, yeah, I might have played Xanac, but I don't remember too well. Like, half these games I don't even remember playing. Dragon Warrior. Secret strategies. The princess is hidden in the marsh cave. However, a dragon guards her from you. The Talesman is hidden far to the south in a marsh. To get it, you must get Gwendolyn's love. This is used as a compass. You can find the exact location of the Talesman, now spelled with one S, by talking to a man in Cantlin. Erdrick's armor is in Hawknest, being guarded by an axe knight. If you meet one, beat it, and search the area underneath it. Erdrick's sword is inside the castle Charlock. Search the area behind the throne, and enter the depths of the castle. Work your way downwards until you see another up staircase. You will then have to backtrack up a few floors until you reach the top. Also, the curse belt is an item you don't want. It is at the bottom of the castle Charlock. Avoid all the treasure chests here. I did write Gun.Smoke, though. That's true. I was smart enough to... And it is the actual legit name. Super Mario Brothers in World 1-2 at the end of the level, right next to the pipe that leads you out. Break the second... So this is just like telling you how to do the minus world. Which is another thing I could never do as a kid. I remember trying over and over to do this and I could never... I wrote the guide for it, but I never actually could get it to work. I've done it on stream as an adult. I've shown it off as an adult. But I could never do this as a kid. It will take a lot of practice before you can do it. That's true. Now, I don't think I ever beat Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles either. But I do remember getting as far as the Technodrome. I don't think I ever got past the Corridor of Death. There were some tough games I beat as a kid. Like, I do remember beating Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, but not 3. And I beat, I don't know. I beat a number of difficult games. I beat Blaster Master. I actually beat Blaster Master as a kid. Because I love that game. I probably played it a ton before I could. But I don't think I beat Turtles. I did beat Dragon Warrior and Final Fantasy, of course. And Super Mario Brothers 1 and 2, probably, I think. I mean, definitely Super Mario Brothers 1. 2, I think I beat. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I beat that. I think I had like it was one of the games like I recorded the ending on a VHS tape. So those are my 3. That's it. Those are the 3 strategy guides that were written by 12-year-old Flipsider. And yeah, there's the posters. All right. So that we have looked at those. You're gonna probably want some new music now. Let's see. I guess we'll go with this. So we have some other things here I've got a whole box of things here. So those are my Nintendo strategy guides. I also made, I don't remember when I made this, but this is probably younger. This is a book about camping. Based on how to camp. This, and it's colored. I'm guessing this would have been definitely younger. I'm guessing 7 or 8 when I made this. All right. A book about camping. By Brian Folk. 3 hints to a tent. 5 to hunt, 8 to fish. This is a table of contents. I don't know what this is. Maybe that's the campfire? I don't know. They were just like downstairs in a box. There's a bunch of stuff that was saved. Fishing rods for fishing, shotgun, life jacket, tent, sleeping bags, raft, backpacks, a cooking pot,
2 oars, waterproof bags with food, matches, marshmallows, a coppice, a wooden spoon, or wadden spoon, spelled with 1 O. And there's illustrations. Yeah, I mean, this looks like some of that stuff. There's the shotgun, guys. Are these skis? I guess these are oars or skis? They look like skis. Hints for a tent. Lay it flat on the ground. Put together slow, easy. Always take your time. Sleeping bags going in the tent. We went camping. This is erased. We went camping. Let's canoe in our raft in the lake. But I erased that. Never ever smoke when camping. Never ever smoke when camping. To hunt, you need shotgun. You can hunt deer, rabbit, maybe a bird or two. Everything's correct. Everything's in order. This is a good, legit guide so far. All right, here's an illustration. That it says cooler up there, or collar. And here's a fishing man. And there's the tent, and there's trees. And this is like a river. Never go very far in the woods. When going hunting, hunters never shoot a bear or anything like that. Hunter versus Hutter must always be ready. Must always be ready. That is true. That is true. All right, we need some different music, I think. Let's see. No, maybe this would be good. Yeah. Wait, no, not that. Not that. This is kind of good. Fishing. You need a rod, a can of worms. Place the worm on the hook. For some reason it's D. Oh, I guess it's supposed to be an A. Place a worm on the hook. Then put it in the water. We never lived in Michigan. It was Indiana. I lived in Indiana until I was 8. Indianapolis. But we used to go camping quite a bit when I was younger. Wait until the colorful ball goes in the water. The fish will pull it then. Take the fishing rod out of the water. No illustration here. Something's cooking! Exclamation part. That's a cook pot. Ah, see? Apple cinnamon stew. What you need: apples, cinnamon, a cooking pan, and butter. Or booter, spelled with 1 T. Cooking is spelled like coking. I'm doing well. That's a good job for whatever, how old I was. First, slice the apples, take the seeds out, rinse the apples in warm water, then cook them about half an hour. Sprinkle cinnamon on the apples while it's cooking. Then mix them with applesauce while it's cooking. Then take it out and you have apple and cinnamon stew. Wow. Now, wait a second. Nobody said to switch the music. Keep it up. That says 1. I don't know what that says. This is... I don't know what's going on here. This is some random, like, video game stuff. And then page 13 is blank. And page 14 is blank. Page 15 is blank. Page 16 is blank. Page 17 is blank. Page 18, 19. Uh-oh. I made too many pages. I wasn't able to fill them all out. But it is a book about camping. So, probably a useful book to take when you're camping. So, we got that. We have, let's see here. We got my old, I've got a whole bunch of stuff here. I can't show it all right now. Oh. We have, my ribbons from, like, my art whatever, like art things in, like, elementary school. Oh, this is from high school. These are from high school. Oh, my ribbons from high... This is later. First place in art things. Yeah. So those are from high school. But none of this is from high school. This is, like, all, like, pretty early stuff. I think. Alright, so here we have, if I show this, I guess this is my old yellow comic book folder. And it's got like duct tape all around it. It's like duct tape. It's really old and like smudged. And let's see what we have in here. We have, let's look at some of the artwork. We have Boris Wieldsman. Character, Boris Wieldsman. Okay, let's just, you know, here, let me zoom out a bit more. Alright, so Boris Wieldsman. He's got quite a stance here. He's jumping. I'm sure just like... Yeah, definitely Karnov inspired. We have Hockey Player. Now, this is a little hard to see. Maybe I should turn up the contrast on this. It's a little hard to see, isn't it? This is a faded pencil sketch. Let's preserve it, though. Need more contrast, I guess? See, this helps. Anyway, you can see it well enough. Hockey Player. And then we have Reptiles. I remember drawing these characters. They were very influenced by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course. And in here, you know what we have? A whole comic of the Reptiles. That's right, like a comic done on like computer paper. It's kind of faded, so it's really kind of hard to see. There's no way you can read this. They're like in a fantasy world. See, this is the beginnings of making a comic. So let's kind of take a quick look at this. Let's read. So when would I would have made this in either, I don't think it was as late as high school, but maybe. I want to say like junior high school, maybe. At night, there is an abundance of creatures and movement, yet the darkness seems to consume the noise. It is quiet, save for the chirping of crickets. Razor moves through the forest without disturbing the silence, yet while he walks, he cannot help but gaze at the sky in wonder. Wow, what a beginning. This is definitely inspired by... Oh, it's stuff on the back as well. Huh? What was that? I could have sworn I heard something. There's a figure. Whoa, what is it? A shadowy human figure. Wait, do I... Oh, wow, man. I do remember drawing all these. I kind of remember these. Drawing my stupid comics. Yes, there's like a figure, there's like a human. I bet this, like, I read ElfQuest as, like, a kid as well, so it's probably a combination of, like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and, like, ElfQuest. I've got to help her. You can't, can you, it's still hard, it's hard to see, I think. I feel like it's really hard to see. Even if I turn up the contrast. Oh, well. Oh, well, you're not missing too much. Ooh, look, at the bottom of this page is the beginning of a maze. I want to show off all the mazes. I have so many notebooks of mazes. I need to get to the mazes. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all this. There's like some humans. They're eating food. See, can you see that? And there's like trees and nature. Oh, I wanted to show the orc. Look at the orc men. Look at that. Look at that good artwork of orc men threatening the nice humans. And there's like a human soul. Uh-oh. And there's like a fight between the human good guy and the orc men. Look, they've got... Look at that advanced paneling with the triangle panel. I mean, we might need a different... Wait, we need different music for this, too. Let me see. What do we need? I mean, you know, whatever. We can go with this, maybe. Dan Schoening. I'm showing off the artwork I did when I was like, well, we already looked at Dan. Did you see the stuff? I don't know how long you were lurking, but I already showed off my Nintendo strategy guides that I made when I was, I think 12. And now we're looking at the comics that I did when I was when I was a young lad. Let's just say young lad. Look at that. There's violence. Look at that. The sword goes through that guy and there's blood, see? And he goes, ah. And look, then he gets elbowed. Uh-oh, this guy gets whipped in the back. But then he turned around and he cuts the whip. Look at this high-tech action. Then he gets kicked and he falls. Whoa. Uh-oh, the action's getting serious. Look at that, the action's getting serious. Recreate them. That would be interesting. Fighting the orc men. Who sent you here? Talk, or I'll cut off your arms and let you bleed to death. Oh, look at that. Violence. Well, I'm sure it would have been... See, as a young lad, I was already exposed to violence. And we got some like, oh, look at, he's talking to the guy in the hat. It looks, this guy's got a King Graham hat. Probably not an accident. And they're having like a big talk. And then they're gonna go at nightfall, and they're gonna go to the castle. Whoa, look at the whoa, guys, look at the castle artwork. Look at that. Whoa. I mean, you know, it's put a good effort in. Put a good effort in for however old I was. Opening the door. Look at that. Look at that artwork. Ooh, there's skulls in the door. See the skulls. Well, Dan, you've come at a good time. This is probably going to be my second to last stream. I'll definitely try to stream tomorrow. That'll be the last stream before the Philippines. Then I'll be gone for a month. But then I'll come back with like a bunch of new pictures and videos and stories. So it'll be good. Good perspective work. Uh-oh, there's like a dude, like a wizard dude. And look, he's working with the orc men. Yes, Avon. You thought you had killed me, but you were unaware of the magic talisman I always wore. When a person wearing a talisman is killed, the life force is transferred into the talisman. Then, if the person's body is healed, the life force can be transferred back into the body, thus reviving the person. Whoa! That sounds pretty good. Oh, look! Dramatic lighting. Look at the dramatic lighting, guys. Whoa, you can see this is the beginnings of the Flipside comic. It all starts from here. The dramatic beginnings of the Flipside comic. See that? Get some more action. Get some action. Oh, he's going through the castle and fighting some dudes. Definitely, this would be influenced by Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and whatever other comics I was reading at the time. Maybe the Dungeons and Dragons comic could have possibly been. I don't know if I would have been reading that at this time, or maybe that would have been later. I don't know if I would have. I think I had a pretty limited selection of comics when I was younger. Is that it? Is that the last panel? Wait a second. Zalem, it's time for you to pay for your crimes. What? How did you escape? How did you get past my guards? It doesn't matter. You will die here, and the ritual will take place. Strength will defeat magic, just as good will die before evil. And then the final panel, his cane throwing fireballs. And that's it. That's all I ever made. Now what happened after that? I don't know. What's all this? What is all this in here? Let's see. I don't know what this is. Oh, there's a bunch of doodles on the back of it. Okay. I don't know what that is. This just got some... Then we have some just like notebook paper. Random notebook paper here. Gotta finish it. I mean, I think I better just focus on the comic I'm working on now. Alright, we have here... What is this? A schedule? It has weights on it. This comic and weights. And then we have what appears to be a bunch of blank paper. Oh, that is. And here we have a maze. There's a lot of mazes in some of these notes. We got to look at some of these maze notebooks. Now this, I don't know what the heck this is. It seems unfinished. A map? You know what this is? This is definitely inspired by the movie Romancing the Stone. You can tell by the little folds here. I wanted to... and also, I guess, like Mad Magazine and other magazines, sometimes, you know, they had like the trick thing where you like fold it in. So I wanted to make my... So this map is only for the purposes of like... Let's see. You're supposed to fold it. And then like there's like a... Let's see. It makes a heart, I believe. How is it meant to be folded? Like this? I was never good at... Like this? Like this? There you go, guys. It's a heart, see? Is that... I guess that's how it's supposed to be? I don't know. Be like that. It makes a heart. Wow. And then what the heck is this? Wacky wordies. This is not my stuff. I don't know what this stuff is. Where did this come from? Different signatures? Cartooning homework assignment. My cartooning homework assignment. Brian Folk, period 8. And here's my different signatures I made. Whoa, look at this crazy signature down here. I should be using this one. That's the crazy mixed up, zany, or nonsensical signature. That's my cartooning homework assignment? Okay. So that's what was in this folder. You know, not all of that is really stream-worthy. But, oh, there was another picture here on the back of Boris Wieldsman. I have no memory of Boris Wieldsman whatsoever. In case you missed it, here's Boris Wieldsman. No memory of him. But he's a character, and he was in this yellow folder that was falling apart. I haven't looked at any of this stuff in a really long time. Well, I don't know. We should probably look at some other stuff, huh? Let's get some more mysterious music. DJ, what's up? How's it going? Maybe we want to go with, like... I think Draken music will do well. What else can we look at? I'm not going to make this a very long stream. Because, you know, I only have one more day. I still got... I'm pretty set, but I got some more things to wrap up. Before, you know, I'm going to the Philippines Tuesday morning. I've got one more day. So I don't want to make this a very long stream. Maybe even just, like, looking at these Nintendo strategy guides is enough. But let me just show you what else I have here. I want to show you guys what's in this box. So this box has been sitting in my room for a couple of years because I've been meaning to go through this, and I thought about doing this on stream, and now I am doing it. So there's like a ton of stuff in here. There's sketchbooks and there's like notebooks, like notebooks like this. All these notebooks. I'm sure some of them probably have like embarrassing stuff in them, maybe. Look at all these notebooks here. And then I got all these sketchbooks here. Look at all these sketchbooks. And they all have artwork in them. Are we going to go through and look at all of them? You know, I don't know. Please. Oh, look at, what is this? Well, hold on a second. Wait a second. Look at this. Is this... These... Oh, this stuff in this plastic bag here. Look at what we have here. Some sort of like adventure playing cards. It's like adventure themed playing cards. I sort of vaguely remember these. Probably like done in the style of Garbage Pail Kids, because I was obsessed with Garbage Pail Kids as a kid. So I got Zombie number 2. And then we have Spider number 4. I don't know if this is all of them or some of them were lost. Or maybe I just did them not in... I might have specifically not done them in order, because like if you were collecting them, you wouldn't necessarily have all the numbers, you know? Thank you for the 5 bits, Kev Larson. We have Snake number 5. Look at this. Forgot all about these. And then Orc. I don't know how old... I don't know. I'm going to guess it's probably like, once again, like 11, 12, 13 when I made these. Orc number 6. And they're colored too with marker. Green Slime is number 7. It's on a wall, see? The green slime. And we have Giant Rat. Number 8. And another giant rat. There's 2 giant rats. Is this 2 different? Yeah, these are 2 distinct... They're 2... I tried to draw the same thing twice. Or maybe it's a copy and it's just... I think maybe it's a copy. The artwork's a copy. But, like, I color... The coloring is different in each one. How many of these I tried to make? I don't really know. Got Skeleton. Number 9. Carry and Crawl. I wonder if there was a number 1 and 3 that I made at some point. Aren't in here. Carrion Crawler. Number 10. Of course, these are basically just all classic D&D monsters. I know that I would like... I always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons when I was a kid, and I did end up playing it like a bit, but I would always like look at the manuals. Giant Snail, number 12. And this one's not colored. Oh, I haven't. Wait, I've got 2. One is not colored and one is colored. Gigantic Crab, number 13. Be right at home in Dark Souls. Or on my plate. Giant Crab. And number 14, we have, of course, dragon. I'm sure these are all worth a fortune. Look at that. That's a dragon. And okay, now this is a different set. This is just my attempt to make Garbage Pail Kids. See, this is a Garbage Pail Kid. This is Warheady. Do you remember? Because Garbage Pail Kids always had to like sort of a pun with like a name. So it's Warheady, like Warhead, and he's a tank. And then is this a garbage? This is a Garbage Pail Kid as well. Bomb Pop Junior, and she's like a popsicle, and she was eaten. Yeah, those are the. I don't know how many of these I made. I don't know, but apparently I only have 2 of them left over. So that's very interesting. These are my collection of Flipsider adventure cards that I made when I was young. And a couple of these left over. And let's take a quick look here. You know what? I know I had even more Maze notebooks than this. And I don't think they're all here. But maybe these are just like art notebooks. Oh yeah, this is like just sketch note. This is like sketching stuff. It's probably from like a sketchbook class. You got like early. Now some of these are like scanned in. Yeah. I think I use some of these for like vote incentives. I might this is artwork is probably from. I mean, some of this is actually like traced, I think, but I mean this. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, or not traced, but like I use like a reference. I'm sure. But like, yeah, it's like it's drawing like sketchbooks of characters. These characters were used in a comic that I did before Flipside, Metamorphosis, back in like 1999 or 1998. Let's see what else is in here. Oh yeah, this character was a character from Metamorphosis, the initial comic I did. Then of course we got like some early Maytag and Bernadette from Flipside. That would have been, this probably would have been drawn, I don't know, like 97, 90, late 90s. This is not child anymore. It's not child artwork anymore, so that makes it like not as interesting. Or at least not right now. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. The Brian Mays notebook. Okay, yeah, it's full, I think, of... Actually, it's got like a whole variety of things in it. Some of which is mazes. I loved to like make mazes when I was a kid because I was obsessed with like games. Go figure. Like this is the maze. You go in here and you go out here, and it's just a big maze. I would try to go through this, but you can't. It's too hard to see from the stream. But I mean, I bet it's not too difficult. It's like you go in here and go out there. It's like, it's a little hard to see the lines, so. That just went right back to the start, so that was not the right way. Maybe you go like to the far corner here. Does this go anywhere? That's a dead end. It's too blurry here. I can't really make out the lines anymore. Then we have like a crazy maze with like little Super Mario Brothers characters like little in it, like flower and question marks, and like there's a 1-up. With a crazy maze, a building maze, you start down here and look at that. See? There's pathways. Look at that. There's pathways. You got to figure out the pathway there. Look at that. and like get up there. You got to get up there. You see that? And then when you get all the way to the top, out the chimney, then you go over to the next building, and you got to go back down this building. Look at this. I think that the maze started to get a little lazy down here. It's the crazy part. And there's the end. Wow. Man, let's find some different music here. The maze kind of got some like weird shapes in it. It's kind of cool. What the heck? It leads to like one of 6 keys. You gotta pick the path, you gotta pick the route, and like the route twists all around. And then depending on which route you take, you get to one of 6 keys. I don't really know what the point of that is. Not sure what that is for. Well, I guess there's like dead ends in here, so you've got to find your way to all 6 keys. That's the idea. We got just like random crap. Oh, and then we have like level layouts for Super Mario Brothers levels. Could you tell that I like Super Mario Brothers 1? Uh-oh, crossed all that out. There's the Tree Town level. So look at that. It shows where all the coins are. I was ready to Mario make my own levels. Look at that. You got the fire sticks in there. But see, like, that one's only there in 6-4. This is 1-4. But when you play the 6-4 version, then that one appears. You see that? Because it's like, got to reuse the same levels, just like how Mario 1 does. And then, of course, the floating pipe, you can go down. And then there's like a bonus stage somewhere. There's like a vine there. See? Look at that. Look at these Mario. Should I make this whole thing in Mario Maker? I think I can come up with better stages right now, to be honest. These are a little bit too just Mario 1. But I'm sure I would have really enjoyed making my own. Oh, look at that. We've got a little maze where like you got to go through the things, just like in 4. Super Mario Bros. 1 and 7-4. There's a whole ton of levels in here. It looks pretty hard too. You know what? My house is like weirdly vibrating right now. I hope I'm not about to explode. What's that weird vibrating? Is that coming from like a train? It's so weird. It's so weird. Huh. It's really weird. I guess I'll just ignore it. So anyway, yeah, like, let's see, a lot of Mario Brothers levels here. Got some more Garbage Pail Kid designs here. Garbage Pail Kid designs. Whoa, look at that. Of course, they got to be gross. Like Garbage Pail Kids. Look, he's a rat. He's in a hamster wheel, and his head's a balloon. More Garbage Pail Kids. Wanted to make my own Garbage Pail Kids. Did any of you guys ever collect Garbage Pail Kids? The kid? Yeah, I love those Garbage Pail Kids. Oh yeah, I remember this. This is just like what? Like just simply I like to I like to just simply like draw the logos of movies, even ones I hadn't seen yet. Like, look at these. It's reminding me of like movies from my youth. Like, I'll be like, including. I mean, I know I hadn't seen a lot of these horror movies, but I knew of them. Brewster's Millions. Anyone remember that movie? Beverly Hills Cops. The Boy Who Could Fly. I was thinking about rewatching that. Cloak and Dagger. Baby Boom. What was Baby? Baby, I think, was that movie with like, there was like a dinosaur. They find a dinosaur. Thank you, Dan Schoening. Collected baseball cards. Interesting. Yeah, I need to go through this and like it's reminding me of movies from the 80s that I was just aware of. I mean, most of these I would still know, but like, what's Kid Coulter? What is Kid Coulter? I have no memory of what that is. Harry and the Hendersons. I haven't seen Harry and the Hendersons. And The Pickup Artist. What the heck is that? Some interesting movies that I chose to make Solar Baby. I was thinking about rewatching that, and Space Camp as well. What is Star Crystal? What is that? That sounds good. Is that a movie? These are all movies. Some of these I don't even remember. I'm gonna have to go back and watch all of these. So yeah, I don't know why. I just liked. I guess I was fascinated by like logos. Diane Keaton. Oh, that's probably good. I remember I rewatched Vibes not too long ago. That's a movie with Cyndi Lauper. It was like on a psychic going on like an adventure. Was that Jeff Goldblum as well? Maybe. And I thought it was pretty fun. Yeah, some of these are like kind of like adult movies, but it's just like whatever I saw ads for on TV. I'm sure I did. I know I didn't see a lot of these. Some of maybe the ones with the check mark I did see. Maybe. I wonder if that could be the case. Man, Rusky, Leonard Part 6, Ruskies. There's no way I saw Life Force as a kid, though. I don't remember. I'm sure I wouldn't have seen that. I don't know what the check marks are. Oh, that's interesting. There's more notebooks somewhere that have like tons of mazes in them. I wonder if I have any more of those here. Let's see, like in this one. Oh, this is my notebook where like I did tons of designs for like, it was like video game designs, like game ideas that I had. This is like a game. My friend told me that it was like Jackal, but I remember I never played Jackal. It was just like a tank going around in these mazes. It's like a tank that would go around like an overhead view in like these mazes, I remember. And I don't know, it's weird. It's probably really weird. Like, look at this. Tank, like these like little intricate mazes, and you like drive your tank around in here, and there'd be like big tanks you'd have to fight. You know, probably really influenced by Iron Tank, I guess, but pretty weird. Oh, there's a lot more in here too. A lot more. Oh, and there's some other stuff towards the end here. What other music can we play? I don't know. Maybe this. Oh, my Garfield pictures. More maze stuff. Another video game like design, like I would draw out like how I would draw the levels out in the notebook. Those are my ideas for like the levels. So there'd be like big witches and like dragon things. Notebooks full of, if only I could make these games and subject kids to like these video games. Death. Oh, my own like Zelda maps. These are Zelda maps down here. video game drawings in here. Let's see. What else do we have? It's interesting. What's in here? Oh yeah, this I remember doing this comic. This is like high school. Let's see. Sketchbook. Like more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle stuff. Leonardo. Not bad. What else is there? Just kind of a lot of random stuff. Is this like... That was from like comic ideas that I had. The frogs. My notebooks were like named... At one point they were named like Frogs, Frogs 2, and Frogs 3. What's in this one? Chapter 1. Mazes. Oh my goodness, the thing falls right off. List of Nintendo games. The check marks are the ones I played. I had never played Ikari Warriors or Kid Icarus at that point. Secret clues. This is more like tips for video games. Here we have mazes. Some mazes in here. Look, it's the labyrinth. Look at this one. It's like marker colored. That's pretty cool. There's like little X's and pluses. I don't know what those mean. Guess you just have to avoid the X's. This maze is impossible. There must have been some like gimmick to this. I think you can go. The pluses are like are supposed to be illusion walls, maybe. Like you can go through the wall. The X's are like invisible walls, and the pluses are illusion walls. That's what it was. So you can go where there's pluses on the walls. You could go through the walls there, and that's how you can finish the maze. You know, look at that. Crazy skull maze. I know I used to have some like maze notebooks that had more artistic looking mazes than this. They were sort of like cool and artistic looking. And I wish I knew where those were. Let's show some of those off. Or maybe I'm like inflating in my head what they were like. Well, I mean, like, I guess kind of like this. Like this is kind of looks like a video game level, but it's a maze you're supposed to go through, I guess. I'm a little confused about how this maze works, but look at this. Start down here and then out up there. But there's pits and there's a key. You need that key. You have to get the key here, or else you can't open the door to get in the exit. So you gotta avoid the pit. See? That's interesting. Look at that. Let's try to do this maze. Oh wait, I know. You know what? Let's play this music. Well, it's getting pretty late. I should actually stop my stream. Maybe I won't do any mazes right now. Yeah, there's kind of some cool ones in here. Space Explorers. I don't know what this is. Labyrinth. Oh, is that... Maybe this is for that game Labyrinth I was talking about in the strategy guide. Could this have been that Labyrinth? Huh. Well, whatever it is, I don't think I finished it. Look at that. I was trying to, like, get some more advanced artwork here. And that's, the rest of these pages are blank. Except for more, like, movie logos at the end. There's so much stuff in there. What about this one? Oh, this one. Here we go. Now we're talking. Amazing mazes. Like, this is one of the ones I really remember. Like, look at this. It's like an isometric maze in a notebook. And it actually has like different keys and items, and it shows what the items do up there. What if I could figure it out and try to play it again? It says what they do, and you got to get through the all the stuff. Look at that. That looks pretty awesome. Castle Maze 1. The Rambo Maze. Look at the Rambo Maze. Look at this. Look at the Rambo. I barely understand this, but I kind of want to try to figure it out. Oh, you can get a Rambo's knife? I must have liked the NES game Rambo. The Rambo Maze. Temple of Doom? And this one, again, has sort of like a bit of an isometric thing with like the doors. So you gotta see that you get it through the doors. RoboCop Maze. Like, the art's pretty cool in some of these. The Back to the Future Maze. The doors here kind of look like Rygar. The Nightmare on Elm Street Maze. Look at this. Look at all the items, and they're like listed on the side. Except, it doesn't say what they do. That seems, I don't know how you're supposed to, I probably would have known back then. The House Maze, no doubt based on the movie House. Look at that. It looks cool. Like, you could kind of, this one is sort of simple. The keys are just like numbered, and the number of the key goes to the number of the door. See, like, that's the 5 door, and that's the 6 door. And there's the 7 key and the 9 key. So, and you go up and down the stairs. So it's a bit abstract, but I believe how you're supposed to do it is, like, if there's stairs, you can go up, like Castlevania stairs. And so you got to, like, kind of follow along with, like, and then there's walls. Where's one? Look at Goonies 2 map. The Island Maze. Oh, yeah, like, this sort of classic maze. I used to like this. You start up here. Like, you start with 12. See, it says right there. You start with $12, and then every bridge you cross subtracts some money. So you got to, like, find the route where you have enough money to get to the other side. So that's pretty cool. But, like, this island gives you plus $3. That's not showing up on stream very well, but because it's, like, erased. It's like it's got eraser markings over it. But it gives you plus $3. That's pretty cool. I don't know what the heck this is. Oh! Do you know what this is? See the numbers up there? The numbers are hidden. See, like, there's 1. There's 2. There's 3. 6, 8. All the numbers are hidden in there. That's pretty cool. Look at all this, like, creative maze stuff in here. Look at all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles maze. Technodrome. The Batman maze. Dude, I got a maze in here for everything. Well, look at this one. Got I wonder how many of these I could actually, like, try to do now. I want to spend a stream, like, trying to go through this notebook and doing all these mazes. The Predator maze. That's what we need to do. The Total Recall maze. The Raft maze. Oh, see, this is pretty cool. You start here. The rafts take you in. There's like I drew out a little grid, and the rafts take you in a straight direction to, like, then they stop at a log, I guess, or how does that work? You've got to like get off onto another raft, and then it goes in the. Yeah, I think I get how that works. Exactly, Skittles. The Pipe Maze. Look at the Pipe Maze. Balloon Maze. The Castle Maze 3. Look, I mean, Maybe if some of those serial killers would have stayed home and just made mazes, the world would be, there'd be a few less people serial killed. Yeah, this one is like the good notebook here. This is the one I want to go back into. I want to try to do some of those mazes. I believe I had even more notebooks than that, maybe, but those are the ones that are remaining. And I got a bunch of sketchbooks here as well. But I think that's going to be good for tonight. Guys, how do you like my stream for today? My stream for today is just going through old, like showing off like this box of stuff that I made when I was like younger that I just had saved here, like the Nintendo strategy guide. I hope you enjoyed it. This is the content that you get for the second to last day of streams before. Well, thank you, DJ. Thank you, Dan Schoening and Skittles and all others who are lurking. I should probably go to bed. So let's cut the stream short. That's pretty good. I went through all this stuff in my notebook, but we'll probably do at some point a follow-up stream where maybe I get more in depth with like that maze notebook, and we could like maybe show off. That's a good one, Skittles. That's a good quote. And I don't know what we're gonna do for tomorrow's stream. Perhaps we'll do like a music stream, song request stream. We could always do like viewer requests, something fun. We'll do something fun for tomorrow's stream. There's in the box. There's also like a random Ranma half card. I don't know, just like a laminated Ranma half card that I had in there, just random. What was in there? Silly putty. That's a good point. Silly putty. Thank you, everybody. Yeah, that's the insight into my brain. You know, I mean that we all, when we're kids, we do weird stuff, but sometimes we get creative and we make some weird stuff that's kind of cool. So it's interesting to check that out. But I'm gonna get going now. By the way, OhioCon was pretty good. It's definitely smaller than it used to be, but I actually did. It was very sparse, and I feel like probably a lot of people didn't do super great at it, but I actually did better than I expected, and I did okay at OhioCon, and I got to eat some like really good Indian food and really good Thai food. So I forgot to do the convention report, but that's the convention report for OhioCon. It was okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Should we go to somebody else? Zotmeister is doing a streamiversary. I don't think I've ever rated Zotmeister. I forget who that even is, but they're doing a streamiversary, so let's raid them. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll try to see you tomorrow for the final stream before the Philippines trip. See you then. Have a good one. Later. I'm gonna do some other things today during the stream. Flipsider, welcome.